joining us. This is the Last Time We Spoke podcast. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Any critique is a good critique, nonetheless. As always, I am Steph.
Dullah from that town, West Side though.
And on this particular episode, we got a special guest for you. Artist from South Florida, goes by the name of CRZY JSTN. We're going to get into a little bit of his background, why he do the things he do, and how he come to be CRZY JSTN. And this is the Last Time We Spoke podcast.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
I'm here. Present. Shout out to y'all, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for calling me up.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you being on. Just for starters, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do music-wise. Give us a little background on how you come to do music and why.
So I got into it just based on my dad, man. They had a band as brothers. They did that for quite a while. Their father had a restaurant, so it was just kind of like something that fell into place. They needed entertainment, and the most immediate thing was, hey, let me get my kids up here. They love to sing. They play instruments. We'll just get them in here and have them play in front of the people. And that's how it happened. But it was just a local thing, you know. It was never anything that I guess was presented to them as an opportunity to go further with it. It was just, this is what we do to keep, you know, the atmosphere going in the restaurant.
Right.
My sister, she came really close to, you know, breaking out as a commercial artist in her early 20s. I want to say she was 19, 20 years old. I mean, she had even gotten, from my understanding, she got put on a 32-city tour sponsored by Pitbull. When Pitbull first, you know, like he did the 305 album around that time era. So she was doing good things. She was, you know, she was starting to get live with it. She just didn't have any mentorship, any real guidance and mentorship. Not really to any fault of her own. It's just everybody that's been involved with it, like I said, they just weren't really, you know, too educated on the process, on artist development especially.
So it's pretty much very obvious to say that music has always been a part of your life and always been around, especially with your family. Do you play any instruments?
Do I play any? I play the keyboard. That's about as far as I've gotten as far as instruments. I kind of, once I knew I could sing and that I loved to write, I just kind of wanted to hone those skills because they were the most obvious. They were the strongest ones that I had at the time. So, you know, it just felt like the right thing to hone in on those skills and try to perfect those. And then once those were up to par, I would go ahead and experiment with other things. But at least at that point, I would have something to work with, you know, rather than, you know, be okay at other things and not good at anything. So it was just, you know, as the aha moment didn't come until later. Before then, because of my background, where I grew up at, it's not really common for people to do these things. And then when they do, when they step out of the comforts or the norm, I should say, when they step out of the norm among their peers, it's like sometimes you get embraced, and then sometimes, just sometimes, you have envy, and you have people who don't believe in you, either because they're projecting their insecurities on you, or they just don't want to see you succeed at it because it's not them. So, you know, but for me, it dawned on me once I had traveled the world, I joined the military, I'd explored and experienced the different parts of life that I never had as a youth. Growing up in South Florida, not really having the means to just have these experiences that broaden your mentality, and not just that, but your understanding of what you can do as an individual, regardless of what your passion is. I knew I could sing when I was a kid, you know, doing duets with my sister and my dad playing the guitar in Puerto Rico, I knew I could sing. At that time, my sister was doing so good that I was kind of in her shadow, and I didn't want to compete, you know. She was very vocal about that being her dream, and I felt like if I tried to identify with it as well, that she would feel like, oh, he's a copycat or anything. You know what I mean? Just kids being kids. I was a boxer. Most of my youth.
Mm-hmm. So,
and, yeah, go ahead.
What I was about to ask is, when was it? Well, what age did you actually start performing?
I started performing around 21. When I first did a public performance. Okay. And then as time went on, I would make myself available or find opportunities to get on stage, get behind the microphone. Like for Memorial Day, I would do, you know, being a service member. I would do, you know, national anthems at ceremonies and stuff like that, and that would give me invitations to go do open mics or just little shows for, you know, different causes going on in the city. And slowly but surely, I just started finding my way to the stage on my own. After that, you know, with my own music.
So when 21 was the age where you first started performing as a solo act, but I was asking more so like the first time like you stepped on stage.
Oh, the very first time I stepped up and sang?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was man, I was a kid then. I did, and it was actually the national anthem. I was about 14, 15 years old. I was in a military style, like a boot camp for troubled youth.
Okay.
And I was what they would call the A-Rock, or the person who sings the songs when you're marching.
Mm.
So naturally, I don't like to, like, you know, trumpet too much, but I stood out. I had a voice, you know, that carried, and I could carry a note. And the drill instructors recognized that, so they offered me the opportunity to sing the national anthem for the graduation ceremony for that.
Okay.
And that was the first time I got in front of people. I was like 13, 14 years old.
Speak a little bit. Feeling like, go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
I was going to ask Justin, speak a little bit about your youth. You said troubled youth, school that you went to, like a military school. Speak a little bit first.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A little bit about Puerto Rico first. First growing up. From Puerto Rico originally, right?
I was born in West Palm Beach, Florida, in St. Mary's Hospital in Riviera. So around when I was 5 years old, my mother arranged it with my father to send me to live out there with him. And now my mother is an entrepreneur, and she was doing very well at the time. So I was spoiled as a youth. You know, I got no shame in saying that. As a youth, I was spoiled. I had no sense of appreciating what I had, because for one, I didn't know where we came from. I didn't know where they came from, the struggles they had to go through to get to where they were. My dad's always been kind of like, he's more into the farm life, whereas my mom had more of an aptitude towards being part of the economy. So naturally, he lived out in Puerto Rico. My mom sent me out there. They were separated around that time when I was 5, 6 years old. I'm not really sure as to why she did it. I want to say that looking back, it was because she wanted me to understand what I had. She wanted me to understand the opportunities that had been put in front of me, just being where I was. And a lot of, as I've gotten older, a lot of times you see that you just don't understand the opportunities in front of them, because they don't know, where their family comes from, what the struggles were for their relatives, just to put them in that position, wherever they live, whatever lifestyle they have. But anyway, I was born in Florida. 5 years old, I go to Puerto Rico. I lived the real rugged life out there, you know, cultivating for ourselves, raising animals. I got a lot of, because I was born in Florida and I spoke English fluently, I got a lot of prejudice from the kids that I went to school with. So that's where the boxing came into play. I was getting beat up and shit, getting bullied. So I come home with black guys, and my dad wasn't having it. And so, you know, he taught me how to throw a punch, and that was the beginning of the boxing phase. But before all of that, it was music. It had always been music. Even after that, it's just I got good at it because I had to do it so often. You know, almost every day I had to fight.
And how long were you in Puerto Rico for?
I was in Puerto Rico from 5 till I was 12 years old.
Okay. And what was that transition coming back to the States like?
Oh man, that's a great question. Actually, it was bad. It was bad for my mother. I put a lot of stress on my mother. Of course, as a child, you don't understand these things, but I did. I put a whole lot of pressure on her. She had lost a really good job she had at the time, which is what led to her entrepreneurship. So it might have been a blessing in disguise. However, she might have found her way to that, regardless. But me putting her through a lot of shit kind of forced it on her. But yeah, I was just, my dad and my mother had differences, you know, irreconcilable differences, and so they would trash talk each other, you know, which I don't agree with, being an adult now. I don't have any kids myself, but a lot of my friends, a lot of my, you know, close relatives and friends, they do. And I see what it is. You know, kids feed off of what their parents are doing, what they're expressing about each other, especially. So, you know, my dad, he had his opinions about it. My mom had her own opinions. But I was fresh from Puerto Rico, so I was fresh from my dad's opinions and my mom, you know, and then here I am. I don't understand everything she's had to go through. I'm getting spoiled again, and I'm lashing out, you know. I went from fighting every day because people were picking on me to coming to the States, and you know, now my English is bad. Now I don't understand what everybody's saying around me. So naturally, I took offense to almost everything, you know.
Talk to us a little bit about, like you said, you already touched on the transition coming back to the States, but a little bit about where was your head at music-wise? Was it a place of escape,
comfort? Oh yeah,
comfort.
Oh yeah.
And what particular artists were you listening to at that particular time?
At that time, I was listening to a lot of Michael Jackson. I listened to Cisco. I listened to Usher. I listened to let's see, a lot of classic stuff. Sade, you know, Al Green, whatever my mom would listen to in the car. A lot of dance music, which has influenced me now, even today, because I just remember the rides in the car with her in her little convertible Eclipse with her hand out the window, waving through the air, you know, to her dance music. She loved it, and it was a good vibe. It just stuck with me. I go to a lot of like reggae. So it was a lot of music. I wasn't really set on one genre of music. There was quite a few different genres I was interested in. Anything that was uplifting and bouncy, I really liked. Yeah, Lauryn Hills, you know, Brandy. My sister was obsessed with Brandy, so we had to hear that. But it was great music, and that was my introduction to R&B.
And talk to us a little bit about the comfort you felt within that music at that particular time.
That's the only time I really felt like I could be myself, like without any judgment. Was if I liked this song and I started singing the song, it was just me and the song. I really didn't care what was going on around me. It made it fun to when I did find myself in an environment with other people who enjoyed it just the same. You know, people enjoy music differently, and I really didn't understand that until I got a little bit older and identified with it. But some people, music makes them dance. Some people, they just, they'll mumble the words or hum the words, so it influences different people on a different level. It influenced me so strongly, I wanted to be right there next to the person performing the song. I wanted to be right there singing with them. If not doing my own stuff, I wanted to be right there on stage in the midst of it all. So I really got lost in music.
Let me double back real quick, because I know we're about to get real deep into the music. You know what I mean? As far as how it makes you feel, how you connect with people. I know we're going to get into your writing process here in a minute too, but I want to go back to boxing, because we talked about it, then we kind of, went away from it.
Skimmed over it.
Yeah. So, just elaborate a little more on your boxing career. When did you start? You said when you was 5 or 6 years old?
I officially started competing when I was 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah. Prior to that, my dad was teaching me technique, and that was solely for the purpose of having the ability to defend myself in school, because he saw what I was going through in Puerto Rico. My own people didn't love me. That's how it felt. So it's like I was a constant target because I spoke English well. I didn't look like everybody. And when I say look like, it's just a certain mannerism, I stuck out. So that's where the boxing started. My first official gym was a police athletic league in Royal Palm Beach, out in Wellington area, Royal Palm, which is southern Florida. So the police athletic league took me in, and that was directly related to me being in trouble all the time with the police as a youth, having come back from Puerto Rico with this, with this chip on my shoulder. So they basically gave me an outlet, and I just stuck with it. It was working, it kept me out of trouble. I was doing good in schools. My teachers loved it. My friends loved it. So I just kept with it. And then eventually it led me to boxing for the military. I had won a couple championships prior to that as a youth. I really wanted to go to the Olympics, and being from where I'm from, there's not really that opportunity. When you have no mentorship, those opportunities don't present themselves unless you yourself put yourself in front of the opportunity, however which way, force yourself in front of it. Beat everybody up if you have to, pay the $20 to register for any tournament, find a way out there, find somebody who'll take you out, or somebody you can drive up with, and just do your thing, And that's what I did. So, then later on, the military came up. I enlisted. I was turning 18. I had my 18th birthday in boot camp, and but my mind at that point was just set on Navy boxing, the Navy boxing team, because my recruiter made a big deal about it, and that's kind of the Redeem team. You already know. Yeah, and that actually, that's funny you bring that up, because that actually comes from the fact that the Navy really had nothing popping with the Navy boxing. And the Navy's notorious for smokers matches, on the boats and stuff, on the ships back in the day. Like that was the culture. If you ever had any beef, or it didn't even have to be beef, it was just having fun. Yep. You just smoker matches, and that created respect, among your peers, and it gave you something to bond over. So. Anyways, I was like, yeah, I want to join the Navy. Like, that's what I know. The culture of the Navy, that's what I know. And at the time, there was that movie, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you remember that one? Yeah. And they were doing the smokers matches, so I was just like, man, Navy. I'm a boxer. Naturally, this is what I didn't know what the other branches offered as far as boxing. Looking back, if I had known, I probably would have joined another branch, because they had more solid programs. we were always between getting shut down and and them continuing the program, but
2009 was a special year.
It was huge.
You should have got them gold medals, but man, you were the leader of the squad. I mean, even as a youngster, you was definitely the best fighter on the team. I gravitated towards you. We had a strong bond. We instantly made a strong bond. You was kind of standoffish in camp in the beginning. I remember he was like 2 years.
And that goes back to that Puerto Rico shit, though. I mean, it's been with me all my life. I just had to learn. Yeah,
I remember telling Ben Dom's teammate, I remember I said, this dude can fight. I didn't even see him throw a punch yet. I can just, because, that first day, I'm looking at everybody's, I'm reading people. You know how it go. When you're in or something, you're reading, seeing who's scared, who's bluffing. The person normally doing the most talking, unless they're just being themselves, laid back, cool. They're cool with who they are. That's cool, but like the people who's talking about how good they are and what they can do, those are the people who can't fight. And the ones who laid back,
bragging.
Yeah, ones who just laid back and just whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make friends with y'all right now. I'm trying to see what's going on. Those are the ones that can fight. And I've seen Justin with that type of demeanor, and I recognize it because I be on the same shit. Okay, I told him. I said he can fight. I already knew. I didn't know he was that special, and I believe you would have made the Olympic teams in 2012. And in fact, the person
I call that a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
When people can identify with you, that's definitely a kindred spirit.
Yep.
A question that I have, I know you've been alluding to it a lot as far as getting in trouble. If you care to share, it's pretty much definitely up to you. But what kind of trouble were you getting into at that point? I think when you got back from Puerto Rico, time frame I'm thinking of.
A lot of fighting, primarily fighting. There was some drugs involved. It was very ignorant of me, but it was an easy way to make money, and a lot of people around me at the time were doing it, so it just naturally came to me, and I dabbled with it. After I got in trouble and I realized, there's a consequence to this, I kind of shied away from it. I just was like, nah, I can do it a different way. I can get my money a different way. But, so I was that guy who would sell joints in school, and this is in middle school. I would go to the skating rings and stuff in the neighborhood on the weekends, and I would cut slits into the bottoms of my shoe, and I would pack them with little dime bags, and I'd be selling weed in the skating ring. So that got me in trouble in school, especially. And then the fighting, the confrontations got me in trouble. Got me kicked out of 2 schools. One was the drugs. I got kicked out of school for dealing drugs in school, and then another one was just fighting. And at that point, my mother had it with me. She was like, man, you don't know how many times I done got you off the hook. Like now you're going to suffer. Now you're going to go through the consequence of what you've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the whole military, that's when the whole alternative school started for troubled youth.
And what was that experience like first getting to that military style school?
You know what? It was exactly what I was missing. It was realness. I was around veterans, and they explained to us, you think you guys have it hard, and they would relate to us on our level, but take it beyond that. Like get out of your head, take your head out of your ass, and stop pretending the world's all about you. Like all of us are going through this. And then they would tell us their background, where they came from, where serving in the military, how it gave them structure, and the reason why they loved their job, being with us, giving us that structure that they had came up on by having the life they had, and taking the opportunity, or taking advantage of the opportunities presented to them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the military schools and stuff, that's where my structure started. That's where my work ethic really came into play. I was like, man, like you gotta work hard for things you want. If if you plan on being successful at anything, you got to work hard for it. That was the impression that was left on me with the military schools.
And within that military school, where was the music at for you at that particular time? The main reason why I ask is when you're going through, well, I feel anyway, when you're going through life-changing situations like the military school, it seems like a lot of interests and ideals that you had before getting into a life-changing situation or an experience, I should say. Your views and your tastes change and things of that nature. Did any of these things happen for you while in the cusp of the military school?
Absolutely, 100%. My understanding of things, like I said, veering away from being self-centered and always looking for attention just because I wasn't getting it from both parents at the same time, so now I was looking for whatever avenue I could find it. So getting away from that and recognizing that I was somebody among other people going through similar things, it definitely gave me, it woke me up. That was like the beginning of waking up. And that was the beginning of me like saying, I'm my own person. Like I should behave as such. I should decide for myself what, how if people are going to have an opinion, what about me can they talk about? My actions or, the things I say. So it just got me into that groove where I was like, now I need to be self-conscious. I need to be self-aware.
So when was it when you first started writing your own music?
The first time I ever wrote anything that was music influence or inclined towards music was my sophomore year in high school. I wrote a poem for a class project, but the poem had to be performed. That was the task. That was what it was. You write something, a piece, and you go and you perform it. However, so everybody else did theirs in poem form, but I was the only one who decided to actually sing it. So, and my teacher had no objection to it. She complimented me for it, and it just gave me that bug. Like, shit, she liked it. She's a teacher. She liked that I did it different. Not that I had planned on it. I just did it different. I wanted to do it different. I took what she said, how the project was supposed to be, and I thought outside of the box and did it my own way. And she was impressed by it. I don't remember the song being any good because it was related to a certain topic. Yeah, right. But she was impressed that I had the balls to just be like, I'm gonna do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that pretty much gave you the jump to keep going and keep doing and so on and so forth, right?
Absolutely. I wasn't open about it because confidence, you develop that. It's something that's developed. You can get it later. You can get it at a young point in your life, in your younger years, or you can get it later on. It just depends on who you're around.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna nurture that. Who's going to identify with you and what your strengths are and motivate you that way.
Speaking of that, did you have anybody with I presume with the exception of possibly your parents, or was that type of deal where they didn't even know? I mean, I know you said you performed with your family and your sister was heavily into music, and you chose the boxing route. Simply because you didn't want to, overshadow your sister, and it looked like she could possibly go somewhere and do something seriously. Was it outside of your family? Was there anybody that was honing in on your skills, giving you confidence, just giving you any type of reassurance?
You had mentioned being overshadowed or overshadow my sister. It was actually quite the opposite. She made me, because I'm her biggest fan, you know. So to me, it was like, yeah, I didn't want to be in her shadow. I felt like I had to do my own thing and make my own identity some other how. Even though I love the music, you know, it's not just as much, you know. But yes, there were other influences. None that were immediate. It was just listening to artists and the music that I was finding. You know, once I started learning how to look for music, because, you know, we grew up in a time where we didn't have the internet the way, you know, it wasn't accessible to us the way it is now. You look on your phone and you could pull anything up, you could search anything you want. Back in the days, you had to either go to a store or you hear from word of mouth, like what was popping, and then you delve into it. So, my mom
talked to us a little bit about what's going on now. What are you working on right now?
Right now, it's touchy, man, because I want to put out an album, but at the same time I don't. You know, I'm not really at the album stages. It's just me being really enthusiastic and want to put complete projects out. However, being the industry being what it is, I wouldn't really succeed by putting that much effort into something and releasing it when it's not really gonna reach as many people as I would like for it to, or be available. So it's just it's taking me back to say I'll release one project at a time, like a single, you know, rather than put my focuses on putting an album out or a mixtape. I'll just do singles because of the way music is consumed these days. For an artist like myself, it would benefit me to release singles, you know, periodically, and then more closely together in time span as it becomes more popular. Or I should say vice versa, put them out more often periodically now and then change the tempo up later when it becomes more popular, just to kind of have that, you know, anticipation, build the anticipation. But you got to give them something. So it's like now that's what the focus is writing hits, writing singles that are going to, you know, touch a broad base, campaign behind each single, and then let that be the reason why people are attracted to the very next project.
So
that's where we're at.
You don't have any now, as of now, in putting out a full project?
What would you guys suggest as listener? I'm a listener myself. I'm a huge fan of music, and that's the reason why I chose, you know, I'll just do singles at a time. Instead of just putting a whole project that might fall on flat ears, they might take one thing out of it that they like. But how do you guys feel about that when it comes to an artist, you know, working on music? Would you prefer to have, you know, periodic music so you can kind of live with that for a while, or would you rather just have one whole project at a time?
Let me speak on it first. Go ahead. From a fan's perspective, in general, not just a fan of yours, but a fan of music, I like whole projects. I like to hear an album, and whatever that artist is going through at that particular time in their life, that's what we get. We get their views on life, their views on relationships, their views on politics, whatever they want to talk about. We get their views on that at that moment, and that's what I want to hear. You know what I mean? Now, there are exceptions, and I do like, you know, dope singles. You know, like Andre 3000 is the master of just putting out something every now and then. I mean, jumping on somebody's record, you know what I'm saying, to keep him afloat, so to speak. But nah, man, we need a whole body of work. And for you in particular, speaking as your brother, as your friend, I say we need a whole body of work from you, and we need to build your fan base. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that Steph can tell you. I always say, talent will always win in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what odds are stacked against you, if you got it, you got it. You know what I mean? So whatever obstacles are in your way, it doesn't matter, man. You need a bigger fan base, and you need to do that by just putting out more music. Putting out more music. Putting it out there. Now there's strategic ways that we can get more fans, you know what I'm saying, as far as social media, and I know you're not big on social media and things like that.
I'm not, and I'm going to interject, and it's only because that's a huge thing that you just pointed out. Like, my observation with social media is this. You got a bunch of people with great talent. They're looking to get some attention, but so is every single body else on social media. Like, and that's how it seems. It seems so oversaturated with that type of content that it seems like if you do have something that's real, it's just gonna get overlooked, or it's gonna get passed right by, because it's just so saturated with this. And I was talking to my boy about this earlier. I was like, I'm starting to feel like, which is something that you should do regardless. I'm starting to feel like it would be more beneficial just to focus on what I'm doing locally, rather than trying to look for that attention on social media, trying to attract the attention towards what I'm doing on social media. Just build a fan base that's immediate to me.
I understand.
And kind of let that perpetuate whatever my message is.
I understand that, and I agree with that. But there's other ways to do it, man. Like, to have a team to do it for you is something totally different. I'm saying you focus on the music, and you focus on building it organically, and the way that you plan on doing it, as far as dropping singles and building your fan base locally, no matter where you're at. But you need that exposure, man. You need it. In today's age, you need it. Talent will always prevail on the end. This between you and them is them motherfuckers is whack. Fucking speak. You know what I'm saying? Like when I hear your shit, that shit sounds real. That shit sounds, this should be on the radio right now. This is it. You know what I'm saying? And when I let people who I trust their opinion, like Brother Steph on the podcast right now, when I let him hear, he gets the same feeling that I get. And your music is not the only music that I let them hear. And they be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's alright. It's not for me. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. But the feeling that I get when I hear your music, like, oh, this is it. He's special. And that's the same thing he told me. You know, like, I'll go through this podcast. What time? Can he go it through? I'm telling you, talent prevails. You're different. I'm not gassing you. I don't say this to everybody. You feel me?
Yeah, I think that the reason why I express what I'm saying is because the way that it's made to look these days is like you can't succeed unless it's social media supported, and it's like I grew up in the clubs. I grew up watching new acts coming, local people. I remember my stepfather paying, 10, 12 bands to have a local artist come perform at his club. And I'm like, damn, like if a local artist could do that, why am I gonna, even though we're in the age of the social media, like, why don't I, why don't I focus more on that? Like that's where the money's at, for one. Like the social media shit ain't paying me nothing. And once again, I'm dealing with the saturation of the content that's being put. And I understand what you're saying, what's relatable always shines through. Which is the reason why I feel like, I don't know, I think it's a balance, right? It's always a balance with everything. So I'm just not social media strong. It's not my strong suit, and I can admit that. You don't have to be.
Somebody can do it for you. I'm telling you, like, you need it. Today you need it. I'm not feeling the same way you feel about it.
It's apparent.
But today you need it. And if you're not big...
to me, it makes me feel fake. It makes me feel so fake, and I hate that shit. I just want to be real about what I'm doing.
You got an old soul. I do. I understand. But I'm not going to let you talk me off the lip because I feel what you're saying, but you need it, man. Today you need it, and you're not big on social media. I know this because I know you personally, but somebody needs to run it for you. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I gotta put somebody in place for that. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have that conversation. Go ahead, Steph.
To be honest with you, a lot of the things I was gonna say, Dullah already said it. So far as
he's good at that. He's good at that, man.
Far as like you said something about, you know, starting from a local ground base and building it out that way. And the only reason why I disagree with that, simply because of the day and age we're in, the technology and so on and so forth. But I mean, that's cool, and I feel like that's probably the more organic way of doing things.
You still make money, you know. You still make money. You're not gonna be famous. You might get rich, but you're not gonna be famous. And I think that goes back to what do you really want?
Right. I think what you're saying is more so an effect of, like, what can I say, like LA or Houston. Like those particular type of artists out of those cities, they're huge in their region or whatever, and they don't have to travel outside of their designated state
to support themselves, right?
Yeah, to support themselves, to make money, to vibe with other artists, and so on and so forth. But then the backlash that I think artists like yourself don't really see is you got UGK. I always use UGK as the example when it comes to this. Mm-hmm. What was it? 10 years, Dullah? I think maybe longer than that, possibly. I don't know. I ain't did my math today, but for UGK to really cut through on the national level, it took a feature from JC. And by then, all of the people that are in the know when it came to UGK. I'm from the Midwest. Dullah's from the Midwest. So we are, and I mean, I got Southern roots and Southern background with that, like, directly. But we know who UGK was before the notoriety, so on and so forth. Pocket Full of Stones, so on, Diamonds and Woods, all of these things. So when they finally,
so yeah, their best work came before that. Big Pimpin'.
Exactly. So when they finally cut through on a national scale to get, you know, the big dollars and so on and so forth, their prime has already came and went. And I know it's probably, you know, Joe not on the podcast this episode, but I'm pretty sure he would no, that ain't the truth. But I'm saying on a broader scale. And with that being said, with what you want to do and the aspirations you have, and being at the fact that this ain't the day and age of 3 a.m. and Diamonds and Wood and all of that,
yeah,
you got to expand first and bring it back home, because now it's like, because it sounds like you are from a city where, like, kind of like how I'm from, you got to go outside to a certain extent to get that hometown love. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
But with where I'm from, I'm from Michigan, and with here, you blow up outside of here,
then everybody there loves you.
Exactly. That
man, the fact that you just said that blew me away, because I just had this conversation with a homie of mine out in San Bernardino. He said that. He said, Justin, this is how it works. You blow up anywhere else other than where you from, that's when they love you.
Exactly.
That's when they be like, that's our boy. And that shit is scary, man. It's like, why? Why they can't support you? They wait until everybody else love you to then, you know, embrace you. But it makes sense too. It's like, go prove yourself. Go prove yourself. And I understand that. Yeah.
You gotta get past that mental block right there.
Exactly.
Almost like a stubbornness, because I got it. So I realized, like, I don't want to do it that way. That's just weak. That's a fake way to do it. You know, that's what I think too about social media. All these artists, they trash anyway. They oversaturating the market. Now I gotta weed through this bullshit just to get to something good. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We had a million people say they was gonna do the same thing. We had a million people come and say they was gonna do the same thing. Go do it, and then we'll support you.
Yeah.
And I get that. I fuck with that.
But
go ahead, dude.
No, some things you just can't like technology, you gotta keep up with it. You know, my father, God bless his soul, used to always tell me, you know what I'm saying, like, tradition is good. You want shit traditionally. You know, when you talk about your stepfather and giving out 10 bands to this local artist to perform at his club or whatever, all right, that's tradition, and that's the way it was then, and that's great. And you see that, you say, oh, I can do that. But now, my father also said that technology is the same thing that got us enslaved. When I say us, I'm talking about black men. Same thing that got us enslaved when they came with some Gatling guns and we had this bow and arrow. Of course, he's being, you know, facetious, but he's saying like he was telling me that you have to keep up with the times. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't be so stuck on tradition to the point where you're not keeping up with the times. So that's
you fall behind, you get left behind.
Yep, the same message my father gave me. God bless his soul. I'm gonna give it to you. And say, if you don't want to do that shit, have somebody do it for you. Because today you need it. Because those kids, and every song you send me, I say, my son loves this song. And you want to reach the youth, man. Those kids, that's how they find it, and that's how they know about you. That's how they begin to support you. So you do need it, even though none of us really like the fact that it's that way. We have to adjust to the time.
That's a great point. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And let me extend what Dullah was saying as far as with his son liking your music. They determine who are successful and not, regardless of whether or not it's a music executive. It's this, it's that. It's now to the point where a label, depending on what type of career you want, the label is not needed. Like,
yeah, it's the consensus of the children, of the youth.
Exactly. If you got 50,000 kids that love your music, that sing along to everything you drop, those labels, those people that will cut you a check and so on and so forth, they will come looking for you. Like the best example that I have off the top of my head, Soulja Boy. Crank that, all that shit. He's big on the internet. If my memory serves me correctly, again, the first internet artist that actually went mainstream, went pop, was him, and that was based off the youth loving it. And yeah,
it was 4 minutes of chorus, and he smashed them with it.
Exactly,
because the kids loved it. It was something to dance to.
And to answer your original question, as far as one song or a full body of work, if anything, I would say an EP, not just one song, because and maybe it's me being the biased consumer that I am. Once I latch on to a particular artist, I'm there for at least a few months. But see, I'm older. I'm a few years younger than Dullah. So when I get an artist that, you know, I'm digging their music, so on and so forth, I don't put it down for at least 2 months. But then I give you 3, 4, 5 months to figure it out, so on and so forth. Wait till like your next project might come out, and I have no idea, but it will not go past a year. And once I hear it, I'm back on it again. And it's been put a lot of artists with me where it's like, oh, this dropped in 2016. I'm just hearing it towards the tail end of 16, and you already gearing up for another album. So I'm on it. It's like, okay, well, I missed this one. This shit is dope. I want to hear what he got to say on this next one. And I'm enthused. I'm intrigued. Because I'm a fan now, and it's not the type of fan where I don't know if you remember this, but I'm on LimeWire or I'm on Aries or you know, I'm trying to get it for the free. Like, if it's real deal music that I fuck with, that I love, that I enjoy, I play it in the car, I play it, you know, working out, I play it dolo, I'm playing it, you know, just thinking about some stuff, whatever. It's 24/7. So I get to that next project, and it's like it's elevating, it's evolving, and I can hear you as an artist evolving, but still staying true to who you are.
Yeah, you're growing with the artist.
You have a fan for life. And
it's hard to grow with the artist with just singles.
No, you can't grow with your singles. I'm be so blunt to say that you can't grow with singles, because just like you was alluding to earlier, Justin. The singles, they come and go. Like, I got those I got an EP or a full-length album from you, and it's an album cut, and only the true blue artist, the true blue fans know exactly what that song gets, what it means to them subjectively. It means something to one fan, means something totally different to another, but in the same sense, we still got that connection because the music, and the music is that good as far as cutting through white noise and all of that. Again, to what Dullah was saying, if you got it, you got it. Like, I explore music as much as I can, and yeah, we pass through that. Yeah, that's cool for the moment. But if I hear one good song from you, I'm seeing what else you got, because if it's...
Yeah, exactly. I see that. Now, you guys put it in perspective, so I see what you mean. I can definitely, and I'm not going to say that I haven't, observed that before or recognized that before. It's just me being myself, like, I'm not getting any sleep. I'm working, round the clock on this stuff, and it's like, you try to make the most out of what you have. If it was up to me, I would, and if I had the option to, I'd release everything immediately, whether it's 5-10 songs at a time. But it's just when you see what everybody else is doing, and so you kind of get led astray. It's like, you kind of get left to think like, oh, is there a different way of doing this? Can I make a bigger impact on what I'm doing? Am I losing value in what I'm doing because I'm just giving it out like this? So it's nice to hear that perspective, because that confirms to me, like, fuck the doubt that you have about trying to play the arithmetic game. Just put the music out,
I don't mean to interject, but I think Dullah knew exactly what he was doing once this particular portion of the conversation started. You haven't written your best song yet.
No, yeah, of course.
That one sentence, like that, I mean, for me, because to a certain extent, I'm an artist as well. Don't sing, don't do none of that shit, but I tried. But, I smoke, I drink, you know what I'm saying? Hey! Because I do it every day.
Hey, shout out to the smokers and the drinkers. Straight up.
But with you, like, I heard, like, if Dullah will allow, I'm gonna tell you exactly how, you you got to be on the podcast. Simply because Dullah been telling us about your music for the longest, even before we started doing the podcast. Some of the same things he's told you on here now is some of the same things he's told us. And it was like, okay. And I was just skimming through my music or whatever, as I normally do. It's Sunday, so I'm mellowed out, I'm chilling, getting ready for, the next week of events that I have. And it was like, okay. Dullah sent the email, I think yesterday or the day before. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna, check this out. And it was your raw vocal. Dope as shit. Dope as hell. No music to it, just you just going, right?
Oh, that little acapella.
Whoa. Since we speaking on, raw vocals, why don't you give our listeners a little treat? I know how talented you are. You feel me? But and now Brother Steph knows, and I send the vocals to Joe as well. But that song in particular that she was working on, we're gonna jump right into it. Why don't you give them a little acapella? Because I know you ain't scared, so why don't you let our listeners know, and your fans and our fans as well know how talented you are. Whenever you're ready, man, just go ahead and get right into it.
Yeah, 'cause I love you. You're so beautiful to me. I dream of it with my eyes open. Yeah. Can't nobody take that away. No amount of time could fade your grandeur. I ain't got the words to explain how beautiful you are, and never could since the first time I laid eyes on you. I have not known what I would do if I lost you, and I pray I never have to find out. If I'm telling the truth, you're so beautiful to me. I dream of it with my eyes open. Yeah, yeah. You're so beautiful to me. I dream of it with my eyes open. Yeah. I daydream of it, 'cause I love you. I dream of it, eyes open, 'cause I love you. When I close them, all I think about is everything you've done that hurt me. And everything I do to get back at you, it is so goddamn disturbing. You're so beautiful to me. I dream of it with my eyes open. Yeah, yeah. You're so beautiful to me. I dream of it with my eyes open. Yeah. I daydream of it, 'cause I love you. I dream of it, eyes open, 'cause I love you. I dream of it, eyes open, 'cause I love you. I dream of it, eyes open, 'cause I love you.
I'm trying to tell y'all boys and y'all know, right? Telling you, man, he's very talented. Steph, what do you think about that?
Shit, I'm inspired again. Like, it's the kind of shit that I love, where it's like, you know, it's no filler, you had a point, you got that point, and it sounded dope getting to the period of what you was trying to convey, right?
I appreciate that. That's always a fear of an artist, is like, you want the thinkers to think, but you want people who just want it simple. You want them to get simple too, like the simple sound. Something that drives them in, but gets them thinking later on. If they hear it once, twice, 3 times. But you want them to hear it once, twice, 3 times to get to that point. So that, like, that's where I'm at now with the writing, is like, especially when I write stuff a cappella, which that doesn't happen often. That's, you know, every once in a while you wake up and you're like, or you just been up for days and it comes to you.
We're gonna record that one or what?
Yeah, you got.
Oh yeah, we're gonna record that. I'm trying to get Scott. I need a pianist. I'm not gonna say no name. Nah, fuck that. I want somebody like Scott Storch, if not him, to do something with this, man. Like, it's a great song, and I feel like it's a song. Like, I've gotten positive and negative critique about it. The negative, or you know, like, the less receptive, has come from people who want the more simple stuff. You know, like the more obvious stuff. And then, like, people who are they really think about it, and they're like, oh shit, like, I've been through that, or I'm going through it, or like, this makes me think on what I've been through. In a different way, you know what I mean? Like, it makes it creative.
It sounds like to me, and please, like I said, if anything I'm saying is incorrect, you are the one to let me know. But it sounds like to me you having a tug of war on which direction to go. Do I go the pop side and possibly garner attention and success, or do I stay organic to myself, stay lack for a better term, keep it real?
If it's up to me, then I'm gonna be local. If it's up to me, because I don't care for the fame, even though I have the sound that could, you know, cross over and do, and you know what I mean, just being different. I don't care about the fame. I don't care to try to put myself in front of all the cameras and shit like that. Would I be prepared for that? Yes, I would.
A lot of the things that Dullah, like I said, the universe is working. It's a lot of the things that Dullah is saying to you, he said to me. And I think that's the main reason why, you know what I'm saying, we're here right now at this particular moment. Your artistry, it has no limit. And the funny part about it is, I feel, just by having this conversation with you now that hasn't been really all that long, you have no limits, but you putting limits on it. I'd rather be local. Just be local.
I am. No, I am. Unintentionally. I will say unintentionally, I feel that is what I'm doing. It's not because I intend to. I'm not good at everything.
No. But I don't know how good you are, man. It's a Kendrick Lamar. The reason why I'm going to compare it to you'll see later. But when K-Dot came out, Dullah remembers this. Oh, but at least I hope he does. Our little circle that we had in the military, we was already listening to it. I think Joe was the one who introduced everybody to it, right, Dullah? Yeah. Okay. Joe was the one who introduced us to K-Dot. Years before, maybe like a year or two before Good Kid, Mad City, when everybody took hold to it, so on and so forth. And when Good Kid, Mad City came out, the dynamic changed. It wasn't him crossing over. It was him making everybody change.
Making everybody else, yeah.
I feel in the lane that you're in, you can be that type of artist. If you take that cap off. I listen to your raw vocals, my G. I listen to your raw vocals and it's like, oh shit, this shit is dope. This shit is, and Dullah will tell you, me and him have had constant arguments over the years that we have been brothers. And fool, that shit whack. It's dope, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I beat him over the head. He beat me over the head about particular artists.
I've been there.
Friends or not. It don't matter if they're friends or not. Hey, listen to this. That shit.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And like all three of us, Joe included, all three of us have had knockdown dragouts about music that we was listening to. All three of us are all musical people in different ways. So when I heard the vocals, it's like, oh, he can be something, like special. And like I said, Dullah, consistently, he's dope. The most talented person I know personally. So on and so forth. Like, he's going through.
How long have I been telling y'all that? So if he knows no gas?
Years. I can't remember the exact number, but it's been years. Yeah. Because your name comes up when we talk about music.
Who's that, myself?
Me and Justin just reconnected, like, when we brothers, so we always gonna get in communication with each other, but Justin's a traveler, man. he be everywhere. He don't be on social media.
I'm everywhere.
So, I've been telling him.
I'm coming to a city near you soon.
I'm here. I've been telling him for years that you're the most talented person that I know personally. You know what I'm saying? Not know of, that I know. And it's been years. And you just sent me these two songs, so think about that. I've been telling him how good you are musically. You're the most talented person I know personally.
Oh yeah, you was there from the beginning. You was there from the beginning when I first decided to, to get this shit off my chest. Yeah, you were there for sure. And you, I mean, honestly, man, some of the advice you gave me then at that time has played a part in how I've, gone forward with everything I'm doing now. Honestly, I mean, that it gave me encouragement, but like I said, it's like I've gotten encouragement to get to the point that I'm at now where I'm just like, I'm going to do this regardless of whoever the fuck likes it or doesn't like it. I'm going to do it for me. And I'm going to do it the best way I know how to do it is because of that, because of the little tidbits I've gotten from people who have been around me while I've undergone like this artist development. And that was something we spoke about earlier, was like, we don't have that. When you're independent, you don't have that. There is no such thing as artist development. It's like something that you have to understand for yourself. Like, I have to develop as an artist. I need to get around. I need to travel different places, meet different people, learn more about music, learn the history of music, learn the history of genres, learn the history of songwriting, storytelling, whatever, expression, all that stuff.
Here's why I say artist development has always been an illusion. Simply because you got people that are not engulfed into the culture or into the music or into the sound as much as the consumer is. So what you're doing now is real deal artist development. What you're doing now, going out, touching the people, doing your shows, creating your content, giving it to the people. What I think, and Dullah, correct me if I'm wrong, but what Dullah and I are saying is one single ain't gonna cut it. Like, you have a talent to where I'm just gonna be completely and utterly honest. One that I've been looking for. One Dullah has already known and seen and you know what I'm saying, tried to cultivate, so on and so forth. I mean, you gonna go as far as you're willing to go. And
don't put limitations on yourself.
Don't, because like I said again, that's one of the main things Dullah has told me. So at the end of the day, like, you got something that's tangible, and looking for, and not looking for, but seeing what you don't have, that's gonna get in the way of progress. Because
sure.
I'm pretty sure where you started at the beginning is light years away from where you at now.
Where I'm at, absolutely.
So, and from what I hear in your pen, I'm a music guy, but I'm big on fucking lyrics as well. So, just by what I heard, that raw vocal, that sounds like, okay, you got the lyrics now. You just need some music behind it. Like, I'm intrigued to hear what you gonna do with that. Like, is there something you gonna change vocally? Is there something you gonna change? You gonna take out? You gonna add? But then again, what's the music gonna sound like behind it?
Right.
You got something. You got something, and I don't blow smoke.
Unless it's that high grade. Unless it's that high grade, though. We gonna blow that.
But if like, with the exception of Joe and Dullah, I'm one of the more analytical motherfuckers when it comes to music, because like everything with me, I look at it from a philosophical or a psychological breakdown of it. And especially like if you I give you a perfect example. When you hear those songs and that music behind it, and they do something sonically one time, and it fucks you up so hard to where you stop and rewind it, press and play, like you go through that for hours, and you literally broken down the whole fucking song. It's like, okay, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, I'm about to hear that shit. Boom, you hear it, and you don't hear it, and you get mad. Like, you're mad, but yet happy at the same time, because it's like, that shit makes me feel something. But then you mad simply because it's only one time.
Oh, Steph.
You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. I know I'm a little out there when it comes to expression and explaining how this music shit makes me feel. Who you listening to now? Because that's like, you know, one of the main things I like. That paints a better picture for me, musically.
Who I'm listening to now?
Mm-hmm.
I listen to everything current. I can't say I don't because I pay attention to everything that's going on. Well, I try to. Not to say that I'm getting to everything that's going on, but I try to stay up on what's going on in the music industry, the sounds that are going on, the songs that are going around, what's popular, what's not. I listen to any artist. I'll listen to the entire album. I don't just, if I find a new artist, I don't just listen to the same song. I research everything else they've done. I want to know everything. Like, you guys, that shit just hit me with a damn. I just had an epiphany right now, which y'all been saying, like, drop the whole album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having that to go back to.
Album. Even if it's not, I'll be there to check, but even if it's not a whole album, 5, 6, 7 songs, like, that was suffice. Yeah, that's an album. That's an album. 5, 6, 7, that's an album. True. But yeah, I listen to everything across the board, country, everything, country, hip hop, rap, drill, dance music, all the popular music. I listen to all of it.
I know you
reggae,
ballads, on that Rick Ross, always in camp.
Everything, man.
You was big on that Rick Ross album back in the day. That
I did. Oh yeah.
That was that was like the thing.
Every day I'm hustling. Yeah, and then even before that, you know, even before that, when he was doing the tracks with Trina, Freeway, yeah, all that.
Yeah.
I've been on that stuff, man. I'm a South Floridian, so you know we had that before anybody else did. Definitely, man. Ryan Leslie. I love that shit. I love that. But see, that goes to show the kind of artistry I really gravitate towards stuff like that. Jay-Z, Timberlake, Ryan Leslie. You know, these are people who they came from nothing. They really did. I mean, they might have been living a different lifestyle, but they came from obscurity and just honed what they were doing and kept at it. So for me, it was like, if they could do it, then why? How in the world could I not do it?
You can. Definitely can.
I put it out there. But don't be thinking of like, well, it's not going to reach that many people, so why would I don't do that? Because then that becomes reality. You're like, I'm going to put it out there and it's going to blow. It already happened.
No, I would never say that. I would never say if I release it, it's not going to bang. I'm just saying that when it comes to like having a camera on my face and getting content for social media, I'm not that guy, bro. I'm not the type of person who's gonna hold my phone in my own face to like, you know, I just don't. That's a rarity. I just wouldn't really do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. Like if I have somebody else doing it, then I'll be fine with it. Whatever. It's a necessity. You gotta have that though. You gotta let people in on your life, for sure.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the space that you prefer to live in? I know music at this particular time, there's really no boundaries, but as far as radio and all of this, what space is yours? My space, no pun intended, but just my space. It doesn't matter where I'm at. Mm-hmm. If I'm just being myself, then it's my space. You know, if anybody comes into it, you're in my space. So we're sharing a space, you know, but it's you're there because of the influence I'm presenting to you. So I just stay in my space. I stay in my lane. No matter where I go, I just stay in my lane. I don't try to get involved in things that don't relate to me. I just be myself. You know, if I can capture that, then you know it's good. If not, then it's probably just something that it wasn't good. It wasn't going to connect. It wasn't going to be real. It was just faking it or trying to be facetious about something. It's just not going to connect.
Let me ask you, that's a boxing question that's leading into music. You know who Danny Garcia is, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You a fan of his?
I like his work. I like what he does in the ring.
Yeah. He got DSP music. He got those little, his twin sisters and shit. He started his own label, and he got this cat called Big Dog Knox. You should check him out. The rapper. And, he says he's the best black rapper alive. He's Puerto Rican. He's nice. And, Danny's Puerto Rican. And then his twin sisters, they sing and shit. So, he's my favorite fighter. I don't know if you know that. I saw him at Nashville in 2007 when I was at Nashville.
Yeah?
And he stood out, man. He's like that.
You put the hands on him, though? You put the hands on him, though? You put that right hand on him?
Nah. He was too little. I didn't fight him. I'm saying I saw him.
Oh, okay.
He was there. This Olympic qualifying year. So everybody was there. Keith Thurman, he was there. Fucking Crown Porter, Demetrius Andre. Everybody who's somebody now was there. But he stood out.
Yeah.
Like, the fighters that stood out to me was him and Gary Russell Jr. They stood out. But I didn't really know who Danny Garcia was at that time. But he was just knocking off everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, like, damn. I remember calling home and telling my coach about it. So I just followed his career throughout. And now that he has this music group, you came to my mind instantly because you did music, boxing, Puerto Rican. It just all seemed like it blends perfect. So I reached out to him, 15, on your behalf. And I don't know, I gave him your information too. Email
right on, man. Well, I love the work he does in the ring. Shout out Danny Garcia, man, doing his thing out there.
Just one final thing that I got was I actually once I listened to your vocals again, I jotted down a gang of questions that I have, and you have answered all of them, even those that I didn't have, that Dullah had for you. But for me, be my last question. If you could, describe what your music encompass. What is it? What is it that you're trying to convey? The feeling that you're trying to give to the listeners. And by all means, you can leave whatever out that you choose, because I know within certain types of music and certain artists, it's more of what you find, what you get out of it is for you and you alone. So if you could describe what it is that your music is.
Well, I can say this. I can say, in the future, and in the near future, what people can really expect from myself is I don't do anything that to me doesn't feel like quality. If it's not my favorite song, then I don't do nothing with it. So everything that anybody hears at a point in time that was my favorite song, So it's just, I do what I connect with. That's the stuff that I'm gonna make public. I have no intentions on getting famous. I really don't care for that. Do I feel like that would happen? I feel like it's inevitable. Just because of the personality, it's not my interest, but it comes with it. It just doing what you do. If you're good at something and you pursue it and you keep at it, it just comes with it. That being said, I will remain humble. What people can expect from me, I have so much music to put out. So much music. It's crazy, man. Once I start putting it out, regularly, it is gonna be a regular thing. Shit, man, I don't even know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. Honestly, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep doing my music. I'm gonna keep living life. I'm traveling all over the country. I'm getting inspired every way I can. I'm moving every which way that is beneficial to what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna keep making good music. And hopefully get better at the whole social media thing. Because that seems to be important. I gotta get a grip on it.
One way or another, man.
Kicking and screaming.
Get a team, man.
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's really hard. It's not as easy as it sounds to get aligned with people who want to, because I've dedicated my life to this. I wake up, this is my schedule. I stay up all night. I go to bed. I'll be up, and I'm working all day until 2 p.m. I go to sleep. I wake up around 5, 6 p.m., and I'm back at it. I'm back at work. I'm just doing my shit all through the night. And, 2 p.m. come up, I take me a little 4-hour, 3-hour nap. I'm back up, and I'm doing it again. That's my schedule.
Let me ask Joe this question, but it's for the ladies. He wants to know.
Oh, shit. I love them. Oh.
It says it's best.
I might love them too much. They distractions. I love them so damn much.
They distract us all. They definitely do.
They're a damn distraction.
Remember my advice to you back in the day? I told you all bitches are crazy. Remember that? She crazy, like that. All bitches are crazy. But anyway,
they love being crazy.
Does he have any hoes? That's what he said. He just being silly. But it's for the ladies. So we're gonna take hoes off of it. We're gonna say, do you have any ladies?
And any girlfriends and ladies? I do, man. I do. They all over though. In different area codes. Yeah.
Okay.
They all over. Absolutely. And they all good with it, man. They've been encouraging me. Like I can honestly at this very moment say 95% of the people that have come into my life have been like, Justin, do you, bro. Like, just don't give a fuck about nothing else. Just do you. It don't matter where you come from, what you've been through. Just do you. And if you stay true to yourself, you're going to be whatever you want to be. Because that's just how it is for anybody.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself. You be exactly who you want to be. You put the work in. You do the research. You educate yourself, and you practice what you do. Then it's on and popping. The limitations, like you guys said, limitations are yours and yours alone. Whatever you feel comfortable with, getting involved in. It is what it is. It's gonna reflect directly on what your success is, or what you're doing.
Yep. And man, I know you're confident, and I know we all know you're talented. But if you see what I see, man, I'm just saying, I don't know how to say it. If you see what I see in you, then you would be trying to fucking run through this fucking wall right now, put this shit up. So it's going to hit.
I'm doing it. I got so much music, man. So much. And it's all my favorite shit. Like I said, I don't put nothing out that's not my favorite. Like, if y'all know it's my favorite shit, like it's popping, it's banging. And I'm excited to put it out, man. I think because they say there's a season to especially independent artists, it's like this unsaid thing that there is a season throughout the year because everybody else who's signed and popular and commercial is putting out a lot of product. That there's a season within the year where independent artists could really get the music across. They could really promote their shit and get heard, get it out, which is the summertime. So it's like I feel like I dabbled a little bit in this summer. I got some good reception, and I feel like it let me know that next summer is gonna be mine. Like, that's gonna be the summer where it really takes off. Between now and then, I'm gonna focus on campaigning the whole summer movement for next year.
How many songs do you got done complete now?
As of right now, to release, I got over 20. I got over 20 songs.
I gotta listen to these, man. I mean, like a sit down session. Well,
yeah, we could do it, man. We could do it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That shit sounds right up my alley. Yes, sir.
We can do that.
I'm invited myself.
Hell yeah. You automatically invited, sir. Automatically.
Thank you. I graciously will accept that.
You gonna be in Washington next month, you think? Or next week?
Yeah, I got a buddy. He's also a hip hop artist, Paul Eubanks. Shout out to him out in Seattle right now. doing big things, man. He's one of my motivators, one of my mentors as well.
That's my dog.
He's out in Seattle, and I'm about to be connecting with him in Seattle in January. So big things gonna happen. That's when I'm finally gonna get to collaborate with somebody. Because I've just been doing solo stuff at this point.
And you know what? That makes for a good question as well. Why haven't you collaborated yet? Is it simply because where you at, or not being able to, find artists that pretty much are on the same wavelength?
Caliber. Yeah, and not just caliber, but because it's different. The wavelength. You know, if you're doing, because there's a lot of artists that are great at what they do on the wavelength they're on, but it might not necessarily complement what you're doing, or you might not, like myself. Sometimes I don't compliment what they're doing because I'm too conscious of what I'm doing, or it's too I'm mostly my fan base is mostly female because I do, and then obviously the men who are in touch with their own confidence, men that are about treating women to fancy things, nice things, a good time, making them feel confident about themselves. Those are the type of people I attract. So, and they're more based on like the urban life, like selling drugs and shit. I'm way past that. So we just don't. Sometimes they don't complement each other. It's not always, and I think it has to do with the amount of people doing certain different genres of music. I'm kind of way in the left lane. Like I'm doing shit that most people won't do. They're chasing what's the fad right now, and I'm trying to construct what's going to be what's going to be popping in the next couple years. So it's like it's difficult to find those people. It's difficult to find people on that wave that are trying to do what's going to influence the future, rather than try to ride the wave that's going on right now.
And this is exactly why you will win, sir. You have forethought. I like it. Hey, if my stamp means anything, he has it, sir. He has it.
Let me say this.
I appreciate that.
Shout out Eubanks, you mentioned earlier, from Queens, New York, son. You said you had on.
Hey, Steph, where you from?
I am from Michigan.
Hey, shouts out Michigan, man. Hey, I got a girl. No, for real. I had this girl that I met in Texas. She was from Michigan, man. She didn't even know how beautiful she was. I don't know what's going on out there, man, but they're beautiful. She didn't even know how gorgeous she was. I said, girl, you met the right one. Like, I'm about to spoil the hell out you. Shit.
Yeah, you will find them. You will definitely find them here.
Yeah, boy. Big ups from Michigan, for sure.
Y'all just glance over my shout out to Eubanks from Queens, New York. Because he got this new song. Have you heard it?
Lonely?
It's called Jane. He just put a little snippet out. I said, oh, this next level shit right here.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't heard that. I'm going to say that you heard it first. I got to call him now. I got to bitch him out.
No, he put it on social media, see? Goes back to social media.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it. Though. It's the next level. Yeah.
Hey, man, that boy there is talent. He's talent, man.
Yeah.
I had the honor of being in the studio with him in San Diego recently. So, shouts out to him for sure. Queens, New York. You already know.
Alright.
I know what I want to ask you. This is no shade either. This motherfucker who you knocked out and you beat him twice, when he made the Olympic team, did it piss you off a little bit?
This is Jamil. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. For a little bit of my life, like I want to say a good year and a half of my life, it did. It ate at me, and I know. Here's the funny thing is that I know that for him, he didn't know what I went through. He had no idea what I went through. He had no idea why I didn't show up to the trials. No, matter of fact, when I did show up, my ex-girlfriend at the time wrecked my car. We was at U.S. Nationals.
I remember that.
We was at USS and I got disqualified for not making weight. I was 3 pounds overweight.
I wasn't there. I mean, they told me I qualified. Man, that's all another story. Wait, I don't want to hear that. But
yeah, there was a line of people in my weight class, and man, when I got off that scale, they looked at me like they all knew me, like they was all there. And this is not me boasting. They were all there, and they already knew who the fuck who it was to beat. And I don't even really care about boxing like that. Like I'm just doing it because this is what got me through my youthhood, you know? Like, this is what I'm good at. I'm just going with it. And Jamel was in the damn line, too.
Yeah.
He won the shit, and then he goes on social media talking about, like, it don't really mean that much to him because he got beat by Justin, you know, and he just salty about it. Like, he don't feel like he won that shit legitimately because... And that made me feel good, man, like, because I feel like he did earn it. Like, he had the work ethic. Yep. He did everything it took. He stayed out of trouble. He didn't get himself hurt, none of that stuff. And I know that he just wanted to feel like that affirmation that I beat Justin, like, I'm worthy of this shit. But if I had to be honest, I feel like I probably would have won. I would have won some type of medal at the Olympics. That's not to throw no shade. I'm just saying, like, no, it is. It is. It is.
Jamel's a good fighter. I wish he nothing but the best. I hope he win a world title. You know what I'm saying? And
I love him, man. He works hard.
Let me say this. When that motherfucker first made the Olympic team, you know what I'm saying? I felt bittersweet about it. I was happy that he made it because I knew the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
It was somebody we knew, yeah.
Yeah, but I was mad because like you can't beat Justin. Justin's better than him. You know what I'm saying? And
you didn't.
I remember.
Yeah, you didn't beat him.
I know he didn't beat you. I remember calling you and I remember saying, "You know who made the Olympic team?" You like who? And I said, "Jamel." Do you remember what you said? I bet you don't remember what you said.
I can't even remember.
You said, "Yeah, that nigga still can't beat me though."
True statement.
Yeah,
he better come get it. I texted him the other day on him fucking social media. I was like, hey boy, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't think because you doing your little thing. Don't forget, man.
Did he
Don't forget. That's it. Yeah, he did. Of course. Y'all are stupid. Y'all tripping. Like, yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah. I like him. He seemed like a good dude. A family dude.
He is.
Shout out to him. I hope he win a national. I hope he win a world title coming from the armed forces. And I'm rooting for him.
Absolutely, man. You know, that would make me feel great because I feel like we would have influenced it. You know, that just to be a part of it, just to be a part of his story would be great.
Yeah, you were part of the story. I just seen him. That's it. Yeah. You're a part of the story. You was in the weight class. I remember that gold medal, and I still feel like I got robbed for my gold medal. I know I got it again, but I was like, God damn, come on, there's no way this motherfucker beat me. I mean, what the fuck?
But you was going up against the champ. You know they was gonna play that shit on you.
Yeah.
You know they was gonna do that.
It is what it is. But I don't want to take away I don't remember the motherfucking name, so I don't want to take away his credit. I do remember his name, but I'm not about to say it. I don't want to take away his credit.
Yeah.
He won it fair and square. And,
you got to cool it now.
Fuck that dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Memory lane, man. Anything you want to talk about, Justin, that we didn't cover?
What's up with these ladies, man? Like, is this the life of a rock star? Like, because I come across these women, man, and like as soon as they ask me what I do when I tell them, they just be like, nah, I don't fuck with you. I'm like, what? For real? They don't fuck. It's like a one night thing. You're like, oh yeah, we can fuck, but I don't fuck with you. Like, damn. Like, you make me feel like a terrible human being. You don't like as a person. You don't fuck with me.
Steph.
Nah, I just don't fuck with you. Like you, huh?
I was talking to Steph. Do you see why he's my little brother now? Can you see it now? So I say anything else, he said, "What's up, ladies? Ain't that me?" I'm like, "Look, he's always great. I always want to talk. What we gonna talk about this week on the podcast?" I'm like, "What else? Yeah, that's every week."
Thursday. Girl, give me that. Girl, give me. Yeah, so
you tell them that you're an artist and they don't want to rock with it.
They don't want to fuck with it, man. Like every woman these days, they're looking for a husband. Like I wrote this song, and they actually talked about that. It's called "Between Relationships," and like the chorus go, "I ain't tryna fall in love with you. I'm just tryna be down with you. Now you wanna get married. I'm just tryna get nasty. I just wanna have sex. I just wanna have sex. I just wanna have sex when I'm in between relationships." You know, and that just went back on like, damn, like why everybody wanna get married all the time? Like why can't we just let's just have some fun, like figure out what you do and don't like let me be that guy. Everybody wants to get married right away.
Yes. Hey, do you know about my 2010 story? Navy Boxing 2010 story?
Who, me?
Yeah, bro. I know you was there, and I know you avenged your title back to back, and you beat Jamel again in the finals. But do you know that year I made the team? I don't know if you remember training camp that year. Do you remember? What do you remember about training camp that year?
No, you talking about 2011. You made the team again.
I thought it was 10. Are you sure it was 11?
Because 9 and 10, I was there. You missed 10.
No, that's what I'm talking about. 10. I came very, 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 very late. It's like the last 3 weeks. But there's a whole story behind that. See, I'm such a player. I'm so sneaky and so, you know what I'm saying? I put this shit together so nice. I can tell you what happened.
I never heard this story.
So, what happened was, you know what I'm saying? We had the Redeem team in 2009. Remember?
Yeah.
Vibing off of that. So I come back in 10. You know what I'm saying? I put my paperwork in. My CO signs off on it. Everybody signs off on it. But we got a new athletic director that year for the Navy. Remember that? And he said...
Nah, you know better than me.
He said I turned my paperwork in late. Like 2 days late. And I was like, oh. So I'm Dullah Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck. I'm a silver medalist.
They know you on the base. Everybody already knows you on the base.
Yeah, it's going to be my third time on the team. And he was like, so I'm thinking, okay, damn. Okay, he's going to look over there. He's like, so we'll see you next year. I'm like, see me next year? I try to explain who I am and what's going on. He didn't give a fuck. He's pretty much like, we'll see you next year. So I was like, okay,
whatever.
My CEO had already signed off on it. He had already stood me in front of everybody in my command saying that I'm going off for to try to get the gold medal this time. I got silver last year. There was no way in hell I was about to say, okay, I turned in my paperwork late. My bad. So what I did was I went home. I went home and partied for 2 months, man. Because my command thought I was in boxing training camp. Boxing thought I was back home with my command because I told Coach, hey, look, they ain't gonna let me go. And then, well, like 3 weeks left, I was like, ain't no way in hell I can go back to my command and say I didn't make the team. They gonna know I'm full of shit. They know I'm gonna make the team.
Right.
So I flew down there, on down. That room that I had, I was paying for that shit out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I told the coaches, I said, well, I'm about to get out the Navy, so they told me, go ahead, go down there, and if you make the team, you make the team. I was lying like a motherfucker. The new athletic director came in, and he seen me sparring. I was so far out of shape. I had been drinking and partying for 2 months. I practiced for 3 weeks and fought in the Armed Forces in 2010. And then I had to act like I was mad that I lost. But really, I was just happy I didn't get knocked out. So there's no way in hell I should be in a fight fighting this dude, knowing I ain't trained at all. You know what I'm saying? I trained for 3 weeks. And then they said, motherfucker came up to me and said, I can go to nationals with y'all. I was like, nah, it's alright. I didn't want to box no more. I had just got married and shit. I was done. You know what I'm saying? But
it was done.
But I couldn't go back to my command saying I turned my paperwork in late or that I didn't make the team. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went party. So I played them. I played both of them. You know why I played them?
Because, goddammit, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Goddammit, that too. But back in 2007, when I first made the team, I beat their gold medalist from the year before in a box-off, and they called his name as the winner anyway. And I called my coach back home so mad, and he said, "Nah, you won. Go get the papers. Go get the scores." I only got the scores, and it had me, and I was the winner. But they called his name.
Damn.
And that really hurt my heart, man, that Coach Silver would do that because he was playing very good. And I never liked that. You know what? I never felt comfortable with the coaches like you did. I like them as people. I think they're great people. I just never felt comfortable with them, and I don't think they ever got the best out of me. And I blame me more than I blame them. But that shit's
I was just playing the game. I was just playing the game.
Hey, I gotta say, man, I'm really proud of y'all, and I hope that you guys continue this shit because it is great. It's like I listen to every podcast y'all have, and the shit keeps me entertained. It really does.
And it keeps me inspired. Like, it's educational at the same time. For somebody like myself, it is very educational because I'm up on the things you guys are talking about. So,
appreciate that.
I love it, man. I pray for, nothing but success. And I foresee that. So, y'all keep doing it. Y'all keep keeping it real. Keep keeping it real.
Right on. As always, thank you for joining us. This is the last time we spoke. We'd like to thank Crazy for coming on, sharing his story with us and his music and his talents and everything that he likes to accomplish with his music. You have a home here at the last time we spoke. Anytime you have new material, anything else you want to convey to the people, by all means, you are more than welcome. An open invite is always thrown your way, brother.
Thank you.
As always, we'd like for you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Critiques, as always, are needed, and we will read them, and more than likely we will laugh at them. So while we're entertaining you will entertain us. And as always, I am Steph. Joe is eating a fish sandwich.
Dullah from Naptown, West Side though.
And one lasting remark: if we haven't offended you yet, we will damn sure make a time to offend thee. And this is the last time we spoke.
You bitch you.
You funky bitch you.
Really hard to be good, doing what they say I should do. No amount of reform can get it out of me, though I'm out the hood, it's true. I'm stuck in my ways, don't think that I'm gonna change now. That's just how it is when you come from where I came. Though we Floridians don't need to flex, off rip, not to test. Alright, bitches aren't on my level unless they do coke off my penis. With potential, this eating or miss, yeah. God only knows what's next for me. Being passionate, being bad, oh, love and debaucheries, all I have. Being passionate, being bad, oh, love and debaucheries, in my hands like a dollar bill and a dream. Dollar bill and a dream, like a dollar. A handful of real niggas on my team. Yeah, I see you bitches and your schemes. Know that from the dumb Billie Jean. I'm hypersensitive to bullshit cause my senses is so keen. You ain't got to compliment this shit, just let me do my thing. Hey, stuck in my ways, don't think that I'm gonna change now. That's just how it is when you come from where I came though. With all the odds stacked against me, is where the fuck getting paid.